What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were officially revealed yesterday to massive amounts of hype. It's amazing to actually see the very first HD home console Pokemon game in action with actual gameplay and everything, and the amount of excitement is just great to see. However, I have been seeing a couple complaints about certain things about the game, so I thought it would be interesting today to address 5 good things that we saw from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and 5 bad things. Now obviously this is going to be a very opinionated video, so if you have an opinion of your own or you have an opinion about one of these opinions I'm about to talk about, please be sure to leave it in the comments below and let's get some good, friendly, respectful discussion going. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. Now starting off with the good, the first thing we have is that this game is actually going to allow you to have multiple save files. It was confirmed at the press event yesterday that revealed the game that you're going to be able to have multiple save files on one cartridge in the form of multiple accounts on your system, so you can have one save file per account on your system, similar to some other Switch games like Breath of the Wild. This is something that Pokemon fans have wanted for years, and it's absolutely amazing to see it become a reality because it's going to be so fun to be able to play through the game multiple times and different ways without having to delete your main file that you worked so hard to create. Moving over to one of the bad things is that there's going to be no online features whatsoever for this game, not even the multiplayer. All of the features are local only. Now this obviously stems from the fact that this is a game that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company very much want people to play together as a family, as a group, because it's pulling a lot of people in from Pokemon Go and they really want that social aspect to be maintained. So it does make sense why there's no online features, but in a series like Pokemon that is so dependent and so built on the online competitive scene, it definitely is going to rub some people, particularly the VGC people, the wrong way, because now they still have to play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and will have to do so for competitive Pokemon even after these games come out, which is understandably a bit frustrating. Moving over back to the good side, it's actually confirmed that motion controls are not going to be required for catching Pokemon. Now this has been something that a lot of people have been worrying about since this rumor came about. However, if you look at the trailer for the games at about 2 minutes, you can see a kid playing the game in handheld mode, and he is catching a Pokemon while holding the Switch in his hands, and he's not doing any sort of motion control at all. So this does indeed confirm that we'll be able to play the games in a quote-unquote regular way without motion controls if we want, which really is going to be appealing for a lot of people who don't want to have to wave their arms around to play the game. Another bad thing that I've been seeing people complain about is that there's going to be no battles with wild Pokemon. The method for catching wild Pokemon is going to be the exact same as in Pokemon Go, where you just encounter the Pokemon and throw Pokeballs at it. There's no battling involved. Now, I can definitely see where this is going to be frustrating and disappointing for some people, because with a traditional console Pokemon game, people want that traditional console experience and want to be able to battle the wild Pokemon, weaken them, and catch them. So it's definitely understandable how this would be a negative for some people. However, I do also understand where Game Freak is coming from in wanting to pull in as much of the Go audience as possible, and incorporating some familiar elements like this for those new people is a great way to entice them to play this game. Another one of the good things is a good thing we've wanted for a very long time in Pokemon, and that's Pokemon appearing in the overworld. There's not really going to be any wild encounters in this game, it looks like, or random encounters, because the Pokemon are going to be roaming about in the overworld in real time, which is amazing. This is something we've all wanted really for a while, because it really is just going to add to the immersion of the game and make you really feel like you're a part of the world when you can actually see the Pokemon that are wild out in the wild. And I am so excited to be able to experience it and kind of just be walking about and see a Pokemon that is rare that I really want, and then kind of approach it and battle it by coming into contact with it as we see in the trailer. I'm just really excited for this. This has been a long time coming. Back over on the negative side, we have the fact that there's only going to be the original 151 Pokemon in this game and some Alolan Pokemon, most likely of which are the Alola forms of Kanto Pokemon. Now this does suck because obviously we want to use the full roster of Pokemon and be able to build teams and encounter Pokemon, and we don't want to be limited in that aspect, so it definitely is a bummer. But once again, like I said with the last point, this is all about appealing to the widest demographic possible to pull as many people in as possible for the next core game next year. And the way you do that when it comes to Pokemon is Kanto, because Kanto pretty much appeals to everyone, and the other generations, while they appeal to a lot of people, don't necessarily appeal to these people that Game Freak are trying to target. So from a business and a marketing perspective, it does make sense to only have the 151 for now. Back to the positives, we have one of the features that has been called for and begged for by the Pokemon community for years, and that's Pokemon following you. This is finally returning into Pokemon games for the first time since Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and literally none of us could be any happier because it looks so good. We see several Pokemon like Gengar, Electrode, Nidoking, Nidoqueen. We even see the player character riding an Onix, which I assume for bigger Pokemon like that, they don't follow you, you get to kind of ride on them, which is absolutely amazing. It's going to once again add to the immersion of the games, which is just going to make for such a greater experience, and I am so looking forward to being able to do that, not only just in general, but in HD, because we did experience it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but we didn't experience it in HD, and that is going to be just that much greater of an experience because of that. The fourth bad thing I've got here is kind of like a mixed bag, and that would be the Pokemon Go integration. Now, if anything is putting people off on this game, it is the Pokemon Go integration. Sure, some things are great and no one's really going to argue, like the fact that you can transfer Pokemon that you catch in Pokemon Go from Go to this game and vice versa, and so you can kind of take the Pokemon you catch in Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee with you on the go in Pokemon Go, which is really cool. However, some people, I should say, aren't really too keen on the idea of there being motion controls, there being no wild battles like I mentioned earlier, and they feel like it's kind of like messing with the formula of Pokemon. Once again, like a lot of these bad points, it's understandable that it's kind of a negative, and I personally kind of feel a little bummed too, but it's understandable from Game Freak's perspective. And the last good thing is probably my favorite good thing possibly out of this list, and that is local multiplayer. I talked about the idea of local multiplayer happening in Pokemon Switch several times during my speculation videos before we had any real information, but I could never have guessed that they would actually do a co-op situation where you can actually go on your journey with a friend, and a friend can follow you around, they can battle with you, they can catch Pokemon, they can basically be your Misty or Brock to your Ash Ketchum, which is absolutely phenomenal, and it's going to add to the marketability of this game even more when you can tell parents, hey, both of your kids can play this game at the same time, and it's gonna make parents who play Pokemon Go with their kids want to buy the game so they can play with their kids. It's just a genius way to create a Pokemon game that everyone can play, and I can't wait to try it out for the very first time in a Pokemon game ever. And the last bad thing is once again a bit of a mixed bag, and that would be going back to Kanto. Now, I personally have no problem with going back to Kanto, especially since we're doing it in HD, and doing it in HD when before it was like in 260p or something like that, for me is a completely different experience altogether. But there are a good handful of people who feel like Kanto has been done to death, they keep rehashing it, they're not interested in it, they don't like it because they want something new, and that's definitely a valid concern. However, I would definitely at least give it a chance if you're on the fence, just because it is in HD. It's going to, even though we know the routes and we know familiar places and areas and people and whatnot, it's going to be a much different experience just because of that HD factor. It's a much higher resolution. It's practically going to be a new world because we're seeing it in a way we've never seen before. So if you are kind of on the fence about this, if you are frustrated on this, I would encourage you to give it a chance and really just kind of decide for yourself once you've experienced it if you really like it or not. And there we have it, everybody. Those were 5 good things and 5 bad things about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I mean, even though there are some concerns about this game right off the bat, I think the vast majority believe that these games are just wonderful and are so excited to play them, and I would definitely put myself in that boat because I just cannot wait to get my hands on these come November, and knowing that these are basically just extra games because the main Pokemon games are coming next year just adds to my excitement even more. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of these ideas, whether you think they're good, whether you think they're bad, whether you agree with me, disagree, whatever. Leave a comment comment, let's get a discussion going, but definitely let's be respectful, obviously. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload lots of Pokemon content each and every week. There's going to be even more Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee stuff later on as well, so it's just going to be a fun time to be a part of this community on my channel, so definitely hit that subscribe button. And with all that being said, I will be back with another video very soon, tomorrow in fact, so stay tuned for that. And with all that being said, I will smell you guys later.